starting our final week. This is our final week in the secondary, and then there will be tie breaks throughout the back half of this week. Oh, and there's a mirror to start with. Easy peasy. That's Dane. It would be nice to have. If they find a weapon, they'll be just going straight to escape. Probably.
What a great turn of events. Nice, easy, free seed. We'll see what happens, though.
The mirror just speeds up everything. Once you have Dark World access, it gives you like significantly better coverage. Killing that one blue guard. Well, I don't know where his buddy went. His buddy just disappeared, I guess. And oh, money!
Quick 80 rupees out of that tree makes things quite spicy early on.
I wouldn't be surprised to see them kill one. Well, actually, they don't have a means to kill one of these cards. Never mind.
These guards are fairly predictable in their patterns, though, and actually can be evaded fairly easily, but only 1 rupee from Uncle. What a cheapskate.
I mean, he's dying. That might be all he has left. He might have dropped the rest in the pond over there. Oh, and there's a fair. This seed's just like, hey, easy route in today.
Was that a fairy in a bottle? Look at it be in a bottle.
Oh, whatever. It's a bottle. It doesn't matter as long as it's a bottle. Now they're just gonna do the traditional route. 300.
From Sanctuary over to Kakariko. Seems like an easy, smart play here.
Wouldn't be surprised if we see them also stop into, what is it called? Like the forest, kill that pineapple man? Pickle man. Man, I want pineapples.
Yep, where the mushroom and the thief's hideout is located in the forest there. That's a pretty standard play.
No reason not to kill a few guys here and there as you're passing by these trees. Might be worthwhile to kill the rock crab by the tree pathway.
Another 80 rupees out of that tree, though. This is looking to be quite a free seed for both of our runners.
Yeah. Well, it's always static, so like if you know it's a good drop, then you can just keep farming it, and there's ways to stop by a bunch of these pole trees if you know where they all are and just kill an enemy, especially in this early game. Like I said, they'll probably opt to kill the other rock crab that's in the forest and then pull the tree on their way out.
Looked like just a piece of heart and agony tree, though, so we might not need Aghanim after all.
Nope. But we were already a few items in. We haven't seen any progression items, so you never know. And that's just an arrow upgrade.
Adiron with the sick bird evasion strats.
That bird gets me every time. I was just resigned to letting him poke me. Oh, hey, there's Quack.
If you grab a bush or something in the beginning, you can actually kind of force it to run away from you. It's some weird rats, though. LiteYear showing off even more of the evasion. Nothing out of Adiron's tree, though. Now, with the tree pulls in this game, you can see some pretty interesting drops. Also, bombs. Sometimes I've seen arrows. Money, as in the first 2 trees of this seed, made everything a lot easier for both of our runners. Light heading into Blind's house and completely destroying the basement. No collateral damage here. Second bottle, though.
Oh,
and the
Aether. So you can actually just mirror away these, because there's the mirror glitch.
And the bow in the basement as well.
Oh. Bow and mirror. So, normally bow would be like, I'm just going to go straight to Easter. But with the mirror, you really would want to hold off until you have Dark World access. So it might actually send them away from a place that people normally would. So it'll be interesting to see if they decide to skip that for now, to try to combine it with Pod.
We do have about 2 items needed to get into those things. Either the gloves and the hammer, or the 2-glove upgrade will actually get you into West Dark World.
Yeah, they wouldn't be able to get into, they need the hammer to get to Pod or Adrenum dead. So, glove hammer would be the most obvious sign. The glove hammer torch would be the most obvious sign.
Nothing in the well there for either of our runners.
And just a heart for the guy. $100 for someone's love doesn't seem too bad.
At the exchange rates we're in this modern day and era, it's quite a steal.
And no information if that was Saint Card or not, unfortunately. Neither of our runners had taken damage. Might be Saint Card and we'll never know. Oh, hey,
Fire
we got the
sword.
sword. That's good to have. Oh, didn't phase out the chicken.
Interesting glitch there. That's not really a glitch, but you can throw a chicken through the wall and have it clip into it just for little funs and giggles.
And if that was you, that would be a major glitch, but if it's the chicken, it's just for fun. Oh, hey, Sit Kid is the silver arrows. Yeah,
Oh
I think
my
he tried to fight.
goodness.
I think he tried to fight Ganon, and Ganon decided to have mercy and just give him a terminal illness. So that might not be mercy now that I think about it. Oh, there's the flute. So yeah, early bow and silvers is interesting because now they have like the best weapon in the game, like available to them. Like our second best, because I guess golden sword's a bit better.
But with such interesting items really early on, like the Ocarina right there in Kakariko, this is going to make for quite a fast seed for both of our runners.
Yeah, mirror, like, this is not mirrorless or fluteless. It could be bootless. But if they find an early boots, then, whew. I'm just waiting for one of those seeds where I see an item that's impossible to get, like, straight up. Like, it's just like, oh, boots are on library, and then we have to complain at VTorp, and it's all complicated. It'll be funny, though. I want to see it in a tournament, because that would be funny.
That would be quite confusing for both of our runners to even try and figure out on that one. So we're going to get a maze game check.
Boots at race is not impossible, but that is a good meme.
Just $20 though, nothing interesting to see here. As Light is entering the dam area.
And mirroring out those blocks as well. Allows you to one cycle this room, as it were.
Yep, 2 item locations here.
Rick is like, no, you know what? I have the bow, I have silvers, I am just gonna chest that Shrilla.
Heading over to the Eastern Palace area while LiteYear just finds a big heart container inside the dam.
Opts to pick it up, so that's a little small indication of his skill level, like on his comfortableness with different bosses. It's not a shot at him, and different people will do different things, and I will say that sometimes I've opted to pick up a full heart here and there that I could steal.
Full hearts aren't exactly a bad thing with the early stages of the game.
He's gonna opt to release the bee on this room, and it's just a normal bee. Oh, he went to go kill one of them. Yeah. And the bee can actually clear out that room just fine, like by himself. Gonna follow him around in this room.
Nothing interesting so far.
A Master Sword for in Sashrilla's hut.
LiteYear picking up a shield, baby's first shield, and that's not that much otherwise.
Oh, and apparently hookshot. Jeez, we're focused on the Moldorm bee. I mean, why not? I mean, it's a bee. You have to love the bee.
Bees distractions. So LiteYear is actually taking the faster route by actually fluting over to aid instead of just walking over there. Getting a map check here. Looks like we saw 2 crystals at Eastern and Terra.
Yeah, Green Pendant Desert. So you got crystals in the dungeons you want crystals in, because boots may not be required, so you want to go searching for a pretty elusive item. It can appear in most places in the game.
I've seen it in Ganon's Tower plenty of times.
Oh yeah. So we're looking for the Moon Pearl. Like, hookshot means Death Mountain is now very lucrative.
We have about 7 to 9 items up there easily accessible with just the hookshot alone. Quite an interesting treasure haul there.
LiteYear's option to go to Estate right away.
Now without the lantern, that's actually quite an interesting gamble, since unless you know Dark Rooms, you're not able to fully complete this right away.
Well, you can always complete it in the reverse, sometimes.
True.
It's nice to have 2 out of the 3 medallions, but it's not the medallion that gives you access to Ice Palace. So that's It could be a sign that Ice Palace isn't required, as early Bombos is a usual sign of. But with how many items we have early, we have Mirror, Ocarina, we have Hoodshot, like all these items that are giving us access to large portions of the light world overworld. This could be a while until we are in Dark World. I mean,
So much opportunity.
they're so far along that they can actually complete Eastern. There'll be a slight sequence break without the lamp, but they can.
Entirely possible. I'm sure both of these runners are fairly confident in their lampless strategies.
Oh, and there we go. Almost in the initial portion of the game.
Adiron with all 3 medallions gonna make short work of any of these dungeon checks for Meyer and Turtle Rock.
Yep. Doesn't even need to shut them. Knows he has access, so can save a little bit of time here and there.
The Eastern Palace Dark Room, some of the easier ones to handle, as long as you have a sword to make sure you know where you're going, or in this case, the hook shots are doing wonders for that too.
Yep. Or, I mean, you might just know the rooms, like, very well. Like, you might just know the field. These rooms are kind of the first ones that people learn. The only things that can trip up is getting caught on spots in that room and not really understanding the other dark room. The ones lead into Armos. The one lead into Armos can be a bit tricky for runners.
Since there's a bunch of tentacles and a couple of golems in there waiting to just smash your face in, it's quite an interesting challenge to see if you can get across that.
Finding the mimic that you need as well can be a little bit hard. Oh, the game did not want it. He did not do the clip the way it's supposed to be done because he had already taken some damage. So that was a little problem.
Having to clear the entire room instead, but short work of it with the arrows.
Swaps to his silvers. Is pausing to know where these are going. Oh, okay, that was a little stressful.
The dodges were real on that one.
Yeah. So now we're gonna see if Rick's gonna attempt the other dark room. We'll see if LiteYear goes for it when he gets here. Green Pendant is in Desert Palace.
It's something for free, except it's not really for free because it could potentially be a time loss.
Yep.
Adiron going to the basement, that's not often remembered by a lot of people. There's always 2 fairies that do respawn each time you go down into the drop, so it can be very helpful for you. Adiron going for silvers, but the golem on the right is the one that has the small key. Making it look very easy, though. LiteYear instead going up to Death Mountain a lot faster. There's, again, the potential for a lot of items up there, as we discussed already, so we're going to check them out right now. Red golems.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Red golems taking either 1 silver or 2 arrows, while the green ones only take 1 regular arrow of either sort.
And Armos is, like most things, also only 1 silver arrow. Oh, I think that... oh! It worked. Nice. Swaps to his Ocarina during the arrow move-in cutscene.
And LiteYear finding the flippers in the first part of the Death Mountain Caves.
Okay, that's not too bad. And there was nothing... So, what he skipped, there was nothing in Eastern, except for Bombos, so... Totally fine to skip that and go straight here. He will end up not losing anything. Unless that Bombos is like somehow super needed for the early game.
Not much in the other 5 chests for LiteYear, so LiteYear choosing to take the drop and then heading probably up to go possibly...
Probably Spiral Cave first. Or you might, no, maybe not Spiral Cave. You might just go straight to Hera and then do Spiral Cave after. Oh.
Remembering that LiteYear doesn't have any gloves to go potentially take the shortcut for this and check the Super Bunny Cave. Adiron in the dark again. Making the Death Mountain play look incredibly easy in that room. And finding the Tempered Sword. Now, Spiral Cave, for those without the boots, is a painful walk that can
Yeah,
potentially lead to an item that doesn't have many uses normally in version 26.
I've seen Spiral Cave hold some good items though. And it's just as likely as any of the. Oh, hello.
Hi, Lantern. How are you doing today?
That's really good to have because they haven't done Hera yet. So it was if Hera's fire locked, then like that could be what they need. They might be required to grab that.
Adiron picking up the magic cape inside Spectacle Rock will probably choose to search the east side of Death Mountain instead, since there's no fire source yet for him.
Mm-hmm. Oh, he didn't get it. He's gonna go for that bomb jump. It's very difficult to get. It's like it's very pixel perfect.
LiteYear actually
Oh,
grabbing the old man and returning for his third upgrade for the sword.
Delaricity brings up a good point. That is access to them. Now, oh, the old man had a sword. I didn't even notice that when Rick did it.
Mm-hmm. Nice and easy. This is a very, very free seed. Lots of damage already.
Yeah, no hammer, no glove, master sword and lamp, and the cape. All things telling them to go straight there. Oh, Rick is opting to do Hera first. This could backfire. Oh, we get. Oh, Turtle Rod's not required. Mire's not required. Wait, but we have Mirror and Flutes? What? This is so weird. We're getting. Pod is a red crystal. So is Skull Woods. So two very easy to get to dungeons.
LiteYear showing off the mushroom sprite in a one-up fashion. Now both of our runners are pretty much set to go in high five at each other right here, except for Adiron didn't find a light source yet, so it's gonna be very interesting. Adiron having to leave because of no lantern or fire rod. This could be a big play for LiteYear right here. Now the basement will take up about a minute of your time or so each time you go down in it, so you definitely don't want to do it without some way of getting through it.
Yeah, and that being required did hurt Rick, because that is a small bit of time wasted.
LiteYear showing off the easy trick to set yourself up to where you don't take damage, and you can easily set your controller down to take a drink of water or something with an input break. Adiron getting set up with the flippers right here. And we're going to find the big key in this room right here with LiteYear, so that way they can access the top parts of Hera.
Okay. No. No, Epilepticus. Rick and Morty references are bad. Don't do
Oh no.
them.
Adiron taking the Spiral Cave route. Both of our runners are in a pretty set pattern. Looks like they're going to be catching up with each other pretty soon. Now, floor 4 in Tower of Hera is pretty good for having sometimes one or even both of the items inside of this dungeon. Just a piece of heart for one of them, though.
Yeah, the item, the Mire and Total Rock being penance basically removes like every required item from being on pedestal. It's kind of crazy. Boots are a big one, and so now my current wish is that boots are on pedestal. They are not required for Desert Palace, but they are required for GT. So I think
Oh, that would be
I think that would
interesting.
be mildly hilarious. And GT is required to get Taina Samaria to beat the 2 dungeons. That's my troll prediction for this seed at 20 minutes in.
That is a very rough prediction for these runners. LiteYear getting into the arena to go take on Trolldorm. A couple spin slashes will take care of this boss, no problem. You just have to worry about getting knocked into pits a lot with this boss. And just an arrow upgrade for the second item.
So nothing much there, but it is a crystal that they do need to get, so.
So where will that take our runners next with the items that they have currently?
Well, LiteYear is probably going to go to Eastern. Or might opt not to, because they realize they have the mirror and do that. Oh, and LiteYear is going to go grab the cape, just in case it's needed. There is an item locked behind it, kind of two.
Adiron heading into the basement and probably setting up to take a small hand relaxing break too.
Mm-hmm.
LiteYear choosing to save and quit and probably head out to Eastern as you mentioned before. Choosing to go back to Death Mountain instead though.
And we're flying away. Adidon would be a good play right now, in theory. I mean, especially with the mirror, it gives you access to so much of Dark World so fast, and you don't have to save and quit multiple times to do it all. Like, Adidon wouldn't even be bad for LiteYear. But they do have flippers, so everything in Zora's domain is also in play. But I think if you're going to go do Zora's at this point, you'd go and kill Adidon. Because you have the mirror, you can hit the fish, the catfish that you normally would ignore.
Catfish only having one item, but the potential to jump directly from Catfish to go visit Sora is often appealing as a time save for our runners.
Yeah, and that's pretty much the reason I'd suggest it, is because it does save that time. It's like it adds one more item to that area. They do have catfish access. They have flippers. Flippers alone, flippers and Adidon give you access. That's what I'm saying. This is just describing all the benefits. Oh, you don't need gloves. Oh yeah, no, your guys are right. You do need gloves. I totally forgot. Yeah, there is one more part.
Like you're finding the burrito first chest. Yeah, using the hook shot to get our second item in this will actually save you quite a bit of time as opposed to going on the top side.
Yeah, that's true. It saves you 2 screen transitions and a little bit of a room, and it saves you some travel time. So Rick is doing a shorter dungeon though, and he did lose a little bit of ground when he went to Hera first.
Oh, Rick getting bounced out of the arena twice.
Yeah, gonna try to get that spin off and then do a slash. Oh, almost fell off there. That would have been bad.
Trolldorm wanting none of that, but Adiron just said, I'm gonna go ahead and take care of you right now. A couple shots, no big deal.
LiteYear's danced through that really nicely. Got the 2 spawn instead of 3 or 4.
And there's Babas again.
Uh-huh.
Adiron heading back to the dam.
Oh wow, Rick hasn't even been here yet. Right, because he went straight to Eastern and then straight to Death Mountain because he was rushing crystals, which is a good way to go in this seed, or in this logic. Although none of the items have actually been in dungeons, they've been close to dungeons.
Adiron actually finding just the heart container and is going to take it though, since it's an instant upgrade.
I think it's because at this point he's thinking, well, I might have to do Additive. I don't really want to go in there with like 6 hearts. I would like that 7th heart.
Very smart idea. It's always a little bit of a troll sometimes, depending on the RNG of Aghanim's blue attack. Now, this was the smarter play for Rick, waiting to actually have the Ocarina before coming down here.
Oh no, both runners had Ocarina when they got here.
LiteYear getting ready to go upstairs and go visit Armless Knights, which for Silver Arrows will be an easy fight as well.
Almost plus Flipper's IP. Well, they're gonna need Titans as well. But yes, that is usually a good sign of an early Ice Palace.
Adiron possibly going to make a hobo check as well. Just a bomb upgrade right there. No need to move along and catch that later on. So what does this poor man have under the bridge for our heroes today? The book? What an interesting find right there.
Well, maybe they've got to do all 3 dungeons to get access to Dark World. Maybe they'll find Moon Pearl in Desert. Is this even randomized then?
Adiron heading straight to Zora at this point in the Waterfall Cave as well. It's another 4 items.
Yeah, Zora is a really good play with flippers. Gives you access to an extra item. Moon Pearl could even be in the Waterfall Cave this time, which would be a twist.
Now, the Waterfall Cave is actually something most people do forget about, since it doesn't usually seem to have anything interesting in it, but 320 rupees isn't a bad sign either.
Now they have that, and they can just walk straight up to Zora. They got more than enough money.
LiteYear also making the hobo check nice and simple. Probably gonna go follow Rick straight after as well.
Might actually be faster, instead, like Rick swam there, it might actually be faster to flute from that little plot of like shallow water. Interesting little thing here is that it is actually faster to follow the land at the top of the screen. Like you go all the way to the left, you follow the land, and then you go all the way to the top and follow that land, and then go around. It's like a little bit faster because of how much faster you move. And that is Validationer? Oh no, that was Cane of Burna.
Cane of Burna usually used to defend yourself, but can make quite a few bosses a little bit easier, especially on blind, for example. The blue mail on the ledge, though, is also a nice pickup, too, that LiteYear will be coming up on as well.
Very, very well themed color-wise area. He's trying to think of what he wants to do. Then he realizes he kind of has to go to. No, he's doing start select.
Rick a little bit confused on whether saving and quitting is the best thing to do with this situation or fluting out.
I think he's trying to figure out what he can do. And LiteYear is not far behind. Like they've basically done exactly the same thing. At this point, they have kind of their slightly different routes have converged here, and it looks like the next spot is Rick just going to ignore the book he got.
Desert seems to be an interesting play, even though if the big
Ooh.
key or something is on the torch, you may not be able to complete it right away.
Rick is gambling. This is a huge gamble. Oh, you know what? He's also going to do the rest of Escape, so...
That's actually a really interesting call as well, since there's plenty of items down there.
I think I would check Desert, though.
Desert having a potential ledge item as well as
Rick hasn't
Agnesty.
done... Never mind, Rick actually hasn't done any of Escape, so LiteYear's kind of done a little bit more at this point. Oh, where's LiteYear going? Oh, he's just healing and then he'll flute. Okay. That's a pretty safe way to go about it. I don't even think that this is an Aga. He's gonna do the bottom part of Escape, then the sewers, and hope that he can do the rest of it. So
Just a ledge item on arrow upgrades, but Agnesty is still there just in case.
yeah, and a good way to do this, when you don't have boots, when you don't have power gloves, is you can just check the stuff in the northern part. Go check the stuff on the right side of the dungeon. Jump out of the right exit that not a lot of people even know is there. It does nothing. It just lets you exit the dungeon in the desert without save and quitting. And it brings you right close to Adina. So he could route this really well.
Our first
And
chest
there's
is a small key.
Yeah, and he's opting to not get the information of what's on that torch, which could bite him, because if that's a required item, then that could be information LiteYear gets, or sorry, Rick might get later.
And Rick
There's
with
the bid key.
Making very short work of that mace guard.
Mm-hmm.
Bowl of nachos for LiteYear struck out on that one.
No, he still has bid key. We might not strike out completely.
We'll probably get a torch check right here, though, just to confirm to see whether we actually have to come back here or not.
Pearl on Ether, that would be, Oh, what was that? I didn't see what item that was.
That was the bug catching, that nice and
Oh.
simple safety item.
Yeah, nice safety item, but not worth to go back to. Doesn't make boots required, so boots could still be on pedestal. My dream is in fact still alive.
Now, with no power glove, LiteYear isn't going to be able to go after land molas, but it's choosing to head out the right side instead.
Yeah, well, yes, that's because you can't exit out the middle. You can exit out the left side, but hey, he has to go to Adina, so Adina's right here when you exit out, right?
Let's see what the Great Sage Agana has for us today.
He's not a big fan of us bombing his house, though.
It's just a cave in the middle of the desert.
Hey, that looks like a perfectly reasonable cave home. It's not as... Oh! And Moon Pearl's in the back half of Escape!
Bloomerang is also a nice pickup if you want to go pacifist strats.
Ooh. So LiteYear has to go do that. There was nothing in the desert area.
Adiron deciding that Agana looks to be the actual play this time, though.
And he would be correct, as there is nothing in the desert area. Again, with this mirror, it doesn't actually make... With his turn equipment, except for the lack of power gloves, he has access to the majority of Dark World. He has access to all of, like, West Dark World. The only thing he doesn't have access to is Catfish.
Catfish is locked out, and Dark World Hype Cave will actually take a really long time going around the full circle before getting to those 5 chests.
Yeah, we'll be probably putting aside Hype Cave. Like, he'll probably do a full loop of Dark World. Starting... Yeah, it's gonna be pretty good. He's gonna have to be very efficient to make this worth it, though.
LiteYear going to grab the basement key right here, and going to go find that Moon Pearl as well.
Best item to be on the pedestal right now, sorry, on the pyramid would probably be either fire rod or hammer.
That would be an interesting pyramid item. It could also be very well a troll and force them to go into Palace of Darkness, though.
Nope, they have access to the entire world. Like they might not have to go into Palace of Darkness right now without the hammer if they don't want to. Although all of Palace of Darkness is open to them except for the boss itself. So
Still, 5 items. Actually, yeah, 5 items inside Palace of
Yeah.
Darkness makes it a pretty strong play.
I don't think anyone could get mad at them for doing that play. Ooh, the other guards RNG. So there's a good RNG and a bad RNG for the guard on that inner ring who's not locked in that small box, and that was the bad RNG. You can either go down or to the left, and if he goes to the left, then he'll get in the way of like a quick strat for that room.
LiteYear following up shortly behind, actually gonna go into Agnum as well. Very smart call.
Well, I mean for LiteYear, he's checked literally every spot in the world.
As Adiron gets to go see Zelda get abducted. Banished to the Shadow Realm. So what's the first thing that Bunny Link wants to do? Go fight him. Now the Aghanim 1 fight is actually really interesting. Aghanim 1 by himself isn't too bad. He'll just either shoot a tennis ball at you or will shoot mini blue balls in which you cannot reflect and do pretty good damage to you if you're not careful. But with just a single target to fight, it's a pretty simple, straightforward fight. As LiteYear is getting ready to head up to the next floor as well. Now, every 5th or so RNG for Aghanim will always be him going up to the top center of the room and actually firing lightning down. This cannot be avoided, so...
And the first shot and every shot after the lightning will always be a good ball. So there is an upper limit to the bad RNG of this fight. Now both runners are going to get the exact same fight.
That's generated when the seed actually is spawned as well.
Now it doesn't take deaths into account. So if one of them were to die to Adin and have to reclimb the tower, then the RNG starts from that point in the again. So there it goes down. That was a pretty long fight. Saw a lot of blue balls. 7 blue balls is above average luck. The average is about 5. If you get all 15 blue balls, that's like extraordinary. I think the chance to that is like 0.1, maybe even less, like 0.01%. There's like
just a piece of heart on the pyramid there.
So Pod's a good play. Doing all of the rest of Dark World is the play he is gonna make, which technically has more items across it, and you can always come back here if you need to. Like, it's not hard. It's just with the mirror and adding him dead, you can just save and quit. So if he wants to come back here, it's just a save and quit away. With the mirror, this is going to let him check a lot of stray locations that you would normally have to skip. So it makes it a little nicer. Now hopefully LiteYear knows that he doesn't need the powered gloves. Get over here. Not everybody knows that the flippers are. And in the secondary tournament, it's not necessarily that everyone's gonna have perfect knowledge of all the weirdness of the game. And Rick is obviously opting to do the... Rick is opting to get this graveyard ledge, which is one of the stray areas that you may never see.
It's actually a really smart call, since sometimes, unless you have the boots, you can't exactly get into King's Tomb right afterwards, so people usually save it right for one after the other.
But since he doesn't have boots and he can just get it on the way here, he can just combine the 2 bond spots later. And it's just a red rupee. 0.3? 0.03, yeah, it was, I knew it was like less than 0.1%. So, I just can't remember how to bring up the percentages from the Helmasaur bot.
Just the infamous couch cache inside that cave, forcing Adiron to go back to the Dark World and continue on. As LiteYear is getting ready to grab a piece of heart potentially off the pyramid as well.
Now, as trolly as this seed seems, like 40-minute-ish entrance to Dark World, like after full clear in Light World, that's not necessarily bad. It just means that they have to full clear Dark World now. Run into all the dungeons seems like a good idea, like what LiteYear is doing. So this could be huge. If there are a lot of required items here, this is going to give LiteYear a huge lead. If, say, West Dark World is randomly barren, like maybe Fire Rod and Hammer are here, that would be huge. That would mean Rick would have to double back and do all of this again. So they'll create a
Adiron choosing to go into Skullwoods instead.
Oof, bumps into it slightly, because normally if you were running you could slide past that there. Because your hitbox is slightly different.
Now LiteYear choosing to spend the 110 rupees to get into Palace of Darkness with your newly bought best friend Kiki the Monkey, who will abandon you if you get hit on the way to there, so that's a potential time loss if you somehow run out of money.
Yeah, I've seen a few runners get to Dark World after Panzora and realize, oh, I don't have money for Kiki, and I've seen a few runners have to farm money after Panzora and do an Addenum, which can be pretty trolly. Yeah, that's actually faster to fall through that hole. I see a lot of people like skip that even if they came in through that door, and it's quite funny. I used to do that too until I was like, oh right, and just do that. It's because it looks cool. Looks cool to skip through that hole, in my opinion. Bomb and open that wall, then go back. This is pretty decent routing with the keys that they're getting.
Adiron getting very low on life here, just a half a heart left. This could be potentially bad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Jeff. Like, killing Adrenum is something you don't want to do, but when you have to do it, it actually speeds up like the rest of the seed in some ways sometimes, because the Adrenum Dark World is quite nice. Also, this is the nice little trick that we found out not too long ago. If you hold on to a wall or a statue, you actually don't lose magic for some reason. There's the bit key.
Oh, takes the intentional death.
Yeah. No fairy coming into bait him.
Turns out that looked like it'd be as a calculated setup for a death warp instead.
Well, don't think of it like that, Linshot. It is the Golden Land. It's not the Dark World. It's just the Golden Land. Don't listen to that propaganda from Hyrule.
LiteYear getting set up to go check the 2 chests that are right here, and there's on the right side is actually a bombable fairy wall just in case you need to restock. It's a really good idea sometimes. And there's the power glove inside the Skullwood's big chest. Adiron heading into Thieves Town, and we'll probably check the different games that are around there as well.
The single glove, honestly, isn't a big deal. Like, single glove doesn't give them any more access to anything. So it's nice to have that progression. Oh, you could get Mirror Shield if you wanted right now. Mirror upgrade was on the was on the ledge.
And there's another glove
there's
upgrade
the
for
other glove
LiteYear.
upgrade. So that's a big one.
Both of these runners having glove access now.
Boots! Das Boots!
Boots out of the chest game makes things a lot easier.
Wait, what? Was that not Boots? Oh, that was Red Mail. Oh, man. I baited myself.
Aww.
Sorry, guys.
LiteYear taking the smart idea to use the time to travel around the maze to actually keep the wall open, like as soon as you get there. And there's the hammer inside, almost a vanilla location.
Sorry, guys. And yeah, the hammer in pod is a absolutely massive troll. This is gonna hurt Rick. That is exactly what LiteYear needed to see.
Only the burrito and nachos right there, so they're gonna warp back to the beginning and continue on the next path.
Mm-hmm.
Looks like LiteYear is more interested in completing the dungeon at this point, though. What a find.
Yeah, that gives even easier access to Dark World to LiteYear. And I don't know, like, oh, was that ice or fire? That was
That
ice.
looks like
Okay.
Ice Rod, actually.
Yeah, that's not what you want to see.
One of those potential doom spellers for any run.
So, here's an interesting thing that's going to happen in this seed is Kane of Samaria is not required to get to Ganon's Tower. Now, will it be required for Ganon's Tower? And will it be locked behind Boots? Or vice versa? Will Big Key be on the torch and required? Because both of those items are needed for Chris. Like, this could be a very interesting seed because of like the way it's lining up and what is pendants and what is crystals. They are not actually far away from Go mode right now. They need the fire rod for Stallwoods. They need the they have everything else pretty much. Actually, yeah, they need fire rod, and that's it. They're in Go mode when they find the fire rod and the hook. No, yeah, fire rod. Because LiteYear will probably just stumble upon the other gloves. This is gonna be wind. Oh, yeah. Link Between Worlds has a lot of rods: sand rod, fire rod, wind rod. Yeah.
So LiteYear actually making very fast work of Helmasaur. It turns out you can actually hold your sword out and extend the range of the hitbox on your hammer to make things really easy, and then one silver arrow will do this. There we go.
If you know how to menu and keep your sword held out, you can sometimes get, like, depending on the attack that Helmasaur is in, transition in phases, he's just gonna stand there. You can hold facing forward and not spin and still shoot at your arrow. It's a good technique to practice. Basically, you hold you hold your sword out, you menu to your arrow, and after you select the arrow in the menu, as the menu is pulling away, start pressing the button for your sword again, and you won't release the sword spin. So you'll stay facing forward, and sometimes you can kill Helmasaur before he has a chance to move. It's a good technique to learn because it can make that fight a little bit more consistent. Because as you saw, LiteYear took a few hits, and Helmasaur gets really, really dancy with you.
Now, there was just money as the last item in Palace of Darkness, so we're definitely all finished up in there.
Yeah, Palace is not the crystal. So, yeah, we do need it is not a red crystal. So, Fire Rod. Oh man, this is interesting. I'm really into this fire rod be and go mode thing.
Blind choosing to make a bread maker's joke, which is ironic because usually you have the Titansmiths to go rescue the bread makers right after you actually finish this boss.
It's true. Fortunately, Rick was not even unable to check, but luckily all 4 items were not hammer. Whoa, it's double boots! That's for real this time, I swear.
The boots aren't a lie, just the cake. LiteYear making a catfish check right here, as Adiron
Pet,
exits out of Thieves Town.
Pet is not. Pet is dead, but you know what's not dead? Ganon's Tower Trolls.
Oh boy, what could be inside those 22 chests?
No, right side needn't. Right side required is still a thing.
Tile room hyped. As Adiron is actually going into the digging game. And just 20 rupees inside the digging game, nothing interesting there.
That's unfortunate.
Like you're choosing to mirror and looks like taking a rest break at the witch's hut. Actually, a smart idea if you're low on life and supplies. Plenty of money, so LiteYear's gonna stock up on the blue Kool-Aid. Delicious. Adiron getting a full heart container from the tree kid, which is actually pretty nice. Starting to feel a little bit more comfortable with health for some of these harder bosses. As LiteYear is going to make a graveyard check as well.
So another thing is, LiteYear is gonna have Titans, so they'll be able to check like smiths and stuff a lot faster. Now, if Fire Rod's in one of the Titans locked areas, that'll be a big advantage for LiteYear. And
There's
that's
another bottle.
Oh. Nope, it wasn't any there. So, Pod is pretty much the only place where it can go. Not so good for LiteYear. Oh, but Rick has opted to go somewhere else.
Looks like Rick's heading towards Swamp, actually.
No. No, he's going to Bombos Tablet.
Uh-huh. Very
That'll be
underrated item in version 26.
That would be a pretty crazy gamble to check the first chest in Pod, though. Or sorry, in Swamp. That takes a while to do. Now, Lesbian in Bid Chest. I don't know if LiteYear's is gonna 100% check that. Oh, there's the 4th bottle. Okay, we're bottle full. Oh yeah, and he can check Desert. Oh, a little bit of a sidetrack for him.
Rick just gonna find the bug net off the torch, though. May not be interested in it.
Could still go kill Lanmolas.
As LiteYear heading into Skullwoods here.
Hopefully we'll get the gloves. Not 100% though. You know? Because it's in the bid chest. Not everyone's gonna go all the way to the far left side without Fire Rod. So Lanmolas could have the Fire Rod. And that would be interesting. That'll be a huge route difference. That might also throw off Rick and cause him to go into a bunch of areas he doesn't need to go to.
Just a small key and burrito for LiteYear, having to continue on through the dungeon.
Yeah, net is required. Don't worry, guys. Don't believe other people's lies.
One of the more popular safety items, as it does let you actually grab access to fairies that will definitely save your life for the low price of a simple spin of the sword. Net. Now, LiteYear choosing to freeze the Gibdos instead of trying to deal with them like Adiron did.
I'm gonna go ahead and say that was a good move. Screw those guys. Nobody likes them.
Just like nobody likes those wall masters that just come and troll you every once in a while too.
This dungeon's pretty much just full of like. This dungeon was hard. It's like casually, like the whole dungeon. Okay, so he is gonna go back. So he did get the bitchy, so this is good. I don't know if he knew the bomb jumps. I don't think he does, because he hasn't done any of the bomb jumps or any dark rooms, so it's good that he found Lamp early, because this is gonna help him out. And did you say LiteYear was 2-0?
That would be very much correct.
Wow. You know what? He might not know all the little tricks, but there's something to be said about just doing what you can do, like knowing what you can do and not trying to do things that you sometimes can't do, you know? Do you understand what I mean? Like, I probably lose most of my races because I'm stubborn and go for stupid things that I can't do 100% of the time. And he's just going for the things that will work every time for him. And I can appreciate that.
LiteYear very happy picking up those Titans though.
Yeah, it's to save time everywhere now.
Something Rick doesn't have the luxury of at the moment. Getting
No, that's not
match
backhanded at all. Knowing your limitations is a big deal. I don't know my limitations. I'm terrible about that. Then you should. Yeah, I meant absolutely nothing about that. That was like I just insulted. I'm bad. I go for stupid things, stupid bomb jumps that don't work every time. It's so much better to just go fast.
Wonderful red mail from LiteYear's end right there. Definitely
And
appreciates the
butter.
safety.
Oh, that's not insignificant with this few bosses down. You know?
That definitely makes the other bosses incredibly easy.
Yeah, I agree. LiteYear is crushing it right now. Like LiteYear is not doing any like they ain't playing fancy. They just playing well. It's like the opposite of Andy playing.
The real question is whether LiteYear will actually choose to actually go back and grab that off of Land Mole, is if they feel that they're actually stuck without it, still looking for the fire rod and everything. Just $5 inside Akin's cave, though. The back of LiteYear's mind, though, might potentially be thinking, oh no, I just found the ice rod. What if I have to go into Turtle Rock just to find the fire rod? And we were going to get a King's Tomb check, but Adiron remembers I don't have the Titan Smiths just yet and has to back away from it. Checking the Bonk Cave instead. And just finding a heart container for his shovel. Adiron heading back towards Hyrule Castle, potentially just going to jump in the Pyramid Warp right here. Yep, there we go. As LiteYear checks the grasshopper rooms and hopes not to get smited by those things. Those things are very painful if you run into them with no armor on. Finding the old magic bag of powder, that's actually really useful as a safety item. Adiron making the call to go to pod, which is going to be very beneficial coming out in the end.
But yeah, no, it's actually now going in the opposite. So again, this is a race for a fire rod. Once they have fire rod, they can finish every dungeon. Yeah, almost every key in the first part of the dungeon has to be fire rod, or sorry, has to be in Turtle Rock. Has to be a key for the fire rod to be there, or it can be in the very first chest, but it could be on Laser Bridge in very rare circumstances. As of right now, these runners should be focused on completing every single dungeon that isn't Skullwoods and isn't Skullwoods crystal wise. That should be their number one objective.
LiteYear grabbing the big key chest, which is just a burrito, a little bit of a time loss there. Wanting to make sure that the full clear is actually super important though, just in case he's missing that poor fire rod. So LiteYear heading into the wonderful bread making joke right here. Making very fast work of this fight.
And very brute forced blind fight. Uh-oh.
Oh, there's the last hit. LiteYear very appreciative of blind dropping boots. Opts to go check possibly, nope, skipping the ending game as well.
Huh.
Instead going into the Light World Mirror Cave right here. Just a piece of heart for the trouble, chooses to skip it.
I was say, no, they're kind of even, actually. Honestly. Big difference is Rick has a butter sword from completing Desert Palace, and so has also the Dream Pendant. It is a, what's the world record runtime? It doesn't matter because it's Randomizer. And Rick has his Titans. The fastest standard rando ever is 104, and the fastest open rando ever is 106. By Andy and Problems, respectively.
LiteYear are going to be very disappointed at the contents of the digging game, as Adiron is very happy he's found Titan.
Yeah, now it is really just a race for the fire rod. About to stumble into that hammer, which will make this trip all worth it.
LiteYear definitely choosing to go grab the Dwarven Breadsmith most likely at this point. And there we go.
Opted not to do.
Now, there's a few different items you can actually get from going right here. There's these hammer peg maze, which you can actually do a little trick where you press both the keys for the dash and the actual item to do the item dash.
But LiteYear actually has powder here as well. So you just should one extra item that Rick is gonna have to go back. Like Rick has to backtrack for all of this stuff that he was already in the village for. Turned out Pod was a huge benefit.
Pretty exciting there, and you can get all these items in one trip since you actually have the magic powder as well.
He's even gonna pick up the nice little purple chest. Yeah, Fire Rod would put him like so far ahead once he's done this overworld. Now, the way that Rick plays is he's gonna go to dungeon to dungeon to dungeon. He's probably just gonna ignore all of this overworld that opened up to him. We might even see LiteYear check East Dark Death Mountain, which he has access to as well.
See what our friend the Mad Batter is cursing us with today. Cursing us with a full heart container. That extra life is such a downfall.
Yeah, that's what that was my original troll. Is Samaria could be on the pedestal and also required to beat the seed, which would be. It's the only reaction I have to that. As a player, as a commentator, that's exciting to see. Possible. Oh yeah, it is impossible. Oh. Right.
Adiron with the butter sword making what's going to be a very short trip to Helmasaur King. As
So
LiteYear is actually going to deliver the chest to our friend.
I like this. Did the route in here is really good. Did the Stumpy in the south of Graveyard Cave, and then is going to do Hype Cave with the chest behind him, and then go to. Wow, I like it. Thumbs up.
LiteYear choosing to grab the Dark World Hype Cave instead and just taking the chest along for a wild ride, apparently. Butter sword making very quick work of the Helmasaur King.
Did Rick check? Yes, he didn't. He's going back there. I was like, oh, he forgot to check it on the way there. There's like a very easy way to check it. That's interesting. Not a big time loss.
So Rick grabbing just a single arrow from Sahasrahla, no big
Sahasrahla nicely validated the run. That's pretty good. I like that.
Adiron going to Ice Cave as the chest is finally getting dropped off over on LiteYear's end.
Gonna check this and then Bombos.
Just 10 arrows out of the chest, though. Not as good as he used to be with those wonderful old retired thieves' hands.
Oh, opted not to do Bombos. And I like it. Bombos is like bad, so whatever. It's fine. Do this. You can do Bombos later.
LiteYear choosing to head into swamp instead, by the looks of it.
I can't remember where Ice Rod was. I don't think LiteYear knows the. What's it called? Doesn't know the mirror. Like, oh, 2 different dungeons with 2 different benefits to them. I like it.
Adiron having Bombos access to Ice Palace is definitely a thing, even though it is more expensive on your magic meter to do so.
It is more expensive in the early part, but it actually is like less expensive overall. You still have like 2 charges of magic left versus having to have full magic when you hit Cold Stare. So using Bombos is fine in this dungeon. It is though a 30-second time loss every time you do it.
That's quite a big, as the bomb upgrade is the very first item in Swamp. Now there's 6 items in Swamp, and Ice Palace only has 3, so this could be really big trying to find the Fire
Yeah.
Rod here.
They are also about the same amount of time to complete. And the items needed to complete these dungeons were found at about the same time, with the Titans requiring you to like go to 2 different areas, but they weren't locked behind any additional items from either side. They were both just available to you with what you had when you entered Dark World. So V26 likes to put you on an adventure. It likes to send you as far through the logic as it can.
Every time.
Yeah, so it keeps wanting to give you new items. Now, because of this fire rod can essentially be anywhere. It's set for, it can be anywhere that isn't in Mothula's room. So they have a lot of places to check.
Adiron showing off that expertise with the Ice Palace bomb jump, which will actually save quite a bit of time going through this dungeon.
Without Cane of Samaria, that bomb jump is basically required.
Unless you want to take about a minute or so time loss actually going around the old route.
Mm-hmm. The casual route, as it were, although that the strat with Samaria and the bomb jump have been known for a very, very long time. So.
Sorry. As LiteYear, definitely not flooding that poor key, which has the potential to send you back quite a bit of a ways if you somehow manage to forget about it.
Yeah, that is a mistake that is most commonly made by runners who don't know the game. That were also he did all that and is what? Oh, okay.
LiteYear choosing to skip the left side.
So he's gonna come back to, so left side will stay flooded when he comes back in. So he's just deciding to flood it, and then do this, and he's just gonna hope beyond hope that it's over here. He does need that other key though, from the. He does need the key from the hook shot like portion.
Pretty smart strategy here, just in case Argus has what it's looking for, and actually, the left side can be quite a bit slower, but the fortunate part about that is you actually can stay and just go right back into it, since the only way it unfloods itself is if you leave after you leave the dungeon and go to a different screen.
Yeah, it's basically if you leave the screen that the dam is on, the dam unfloods. So yeah, no, this actually made sense. You flood, you do the flood in, and then when you come back through the door, you can grab the small key by hookshotting over to it, jump down, and then just finish the dungeon. It's faster to flood using the key from the north door. I did see that, yeah. No, I really like that strat. Never really thought of this pathway, but good on LiteYear, teaching people something new. It seems like not everyone in chat's heard of this strat. Nothing's found for Rick yet. Oh, don't pluck yourself out of the big key chest. That would be bad. Nothing. Play the nachos. Oh, LiteYear, move. Okay, good. He was in a bad spot there. 2 tempered spins will kill this boss. Both runners. Oh, Ice Rod disappeared from LiteYear's side.
Just the 20 rupees on LiteYear for Argus's trouble, so not really paying off there, but that does leave quite a bit of a time save going back through and having everything already set up for yourself.
Oh, no. Don't. Where are you going? Wait, did he flood the key?
LiteYear taking a huge gamble here.
Oh no, I don't think he knows that going away from the dungeon is gonna unflood. Oh.
Choosing to take Bombos instead.
I don't know. It's still items.
Adiron having a little bit of trouble in this room, which the ice physics in this game can be very, very trolly to you.
Did Rick forget about the small key? No, I don't know what's happening anymore. Oh, he wanted the magic from here.
Pretty interesting strategy, actually, restocking before Cold Stare.
But he doesn't have fire rod. So
One Bombo shot will do it, at least.
yeah. He can't use Bombos like after that, so doesn't do anything, unfortunately.
With the gold sword, though, I don't think that's in the front of Rick's mind at all.
Yeah. Oh, is LiteYear gonna make a gamble? Is they're
Check Ward
very
Cave.
yeah. Is he gonna go to Meyer? Did I go? Oh no, desert.
But you're interested in possibly going up to Land Mollusk as well and grabbing a Butter Sword. That looks to be the call right here.
Yeah, doesn't seem too bad. Also just green pendant.
Which the Butter Sword is definitely the better of the two items. So Adiron making a very quick work of Cold Stare and is definitely moving on to the next area. Choosing to go into Swamp by the looks of it. Looks like Rick is indeed going into Swamp. Let's see if he happens to check the left side that LiteYear has chosen to put off. It could be big if the fire rod's over there.
Yeah, it's gonna for so Rick is gonna make the Ice Palace play now. And this fire rod is being elusive today.
Sure, the chat actually enjoys that aspect of it.
Yeah.
Minute 17 though, and we're still looking only for the fire rod, and that's gonna be a fairly quick run after that. Like you're using the silvers to make very fast work of Land Mollusk gets rewarded with a delicious Butter Sword.
Yeah, Rick will skip pretty much everything in the overworld just to check dungeons and bosses. So he'll do the overworld as like the last resort. There's still again the Tash in West Death Mountain. Or sorry, East Death Mountain Dark World. That might be the play.
Nobody's checked the Super Bunny Cave since they didn't have Titans at the time, so that could be quite a huge treasure as well.
Oh. Yeah, LiteYear seems to be the opposite of Rick's playstyle here actually. This is basically a battle of playstyles. It could be Meyer, but Meyer's a pendant, so even very thorough overworld checkers will avoid pendants.
We're getting a King's Tomb check right here for the first time. Just a full heart container. Adiron heading into the big key room central area of Swamp. While LiteYear actually heads over to the Bond Cave and will definitely be disappointed that it's not the fire rod. Adiron choosing to skip the big chest and the left side and just go straight through towards Sargus.
Was it? People weren't necessarily bored of the original game. They just wanted to have like something new to do. The original game is still one of the best. Also, what Mister said.
So the single arrow for LiteYear definitely still just upset that it's not what we're looking for here. Makes the play to go to Death Mountain instead. Could be checking Super Bunny and Hookshot Cave.
I think that is the play. It is 7 spots in the overworld. Could give you Cane of Samaria, which would tell you a lot.
Cane of Samaria could be a potential troll, and the Dead Rocks being completely oblivious to LiteYear wanting to go past them. Adiron making a very quick trip over to Argus, and with Butter Sword and Hookshot, that's going to be an extremely quick fight. No need to spin to win, just grab, slap, and just completely go on with it.
Now the biggest worry is if Fire Rod is on left side and Rick checks there. That is not good.
Adiron slapping his troubles away against Argus and completely melting him with butter. Finds only the 20
Fire Rod!
rupees. Oh,
It's go
Fire Rod!
We are in go mode!
Super Bunny Cave bang off big time for Light.
Oh! Doesn't even need to check the rest. You're in go mode, buddy!
Now the question is whether Light actually knows it's go mode or not. Choosing to check the floating island, not seeing much of anything right there.
It's such an early go mode. This is such a weird set of items to have for go mode.
Light going into the Hookshot Cave while Adiron is actually going to be checking the left side of Swamp and is going to be very upset about this.
Titans was found around like 20 minutes ago for both runners. The last medallion was found at 20 minutes in.
Light isn't noticing that they're in go mode and chooses to check all the Hookshot Cave.
Oh no, I hope
nothing there.
Does he not know just because of how it's so weird to be in go mode with this few items?
Probably looking for Cane of Samaria, which could be a potential game breaker.
I mean, there's 22 slot. There's 17 slots. Wait, how many? Yeah, there's only 4 chest slots behind Samaria, so, or I guess 5. So it's much better to just finish.
Ether Tablet only having a single dollar for the trouble. Definitely not worth the trip at all. Oh, and Light is going into Spike Cave. That's going to be a little bit of a resource sink as well.
Math girl, Samaria can't be an Upper Ganon's Tower if we need it. Finish the game though. That's the point. Is we don't. He's checking all these spots, but he doesn't need Samaria.
Oh, there's the Cane of Samaria.
Well, okay. So this, if it is on right side GT, this is the biggest, hugest thing. I know Rick. I know Rick quite well. He will never, in a billion years, check Spike Cave after finding Fire Rod there. I'm just gonna tell you guys now, it's never going to happen.
This could be incredible for Light's chances right here. If that is
Elminster has it correct. Oh my goodness, it might actually be right side GT.
What a troll we would have for both of our poor runners here.
No, I wouldn't be a troll for LiteYear. LiteYear is like next level.
Heading and going to go make quick work of Mothula since Skullwoods has already been completely stripped of items.
Yeah, and gonna have Fire Rod for Ice Palace and Samaria. You know what? He might not know how to beat Ice Palace without Samaria.
Oh, that could be a potential thing too.
For him, Go Mode might require Samaria because of Ice Palace. He might, like, I know there are actually a significant number of rando runners who do not know how to beat Ice Palace vanilla. So, it's not unlikely.
Ice Palace Vanilla being actually quite an interesting strategy, even if it is a little bit slower.
Light doesn't bomb jump, so he might think that, like, I know runners who don't know how to bomb jump, but also don't know how to beat the dungeon without Samaria. So that could be LiteYear.
Choosing to go Ether strats for the Gibdos room, which definitely just one-shots them. It doesn't even freeze them anymore.
Mm-hmm. They are weak to Bombos and Ether equally. Oh, this is hype. This is LiteYear. Like, next level play. If it's on right side, I'm gonna feel so bad for Rick. Oh, and he's gonna do Meyer.
Oh, this isn't gonna pay off at all.
Oh no!
We could get a mushroom and we can get a shovel, and that's pretty much it for interesting items inside the menu, so.
Red Cade was in Spike Cave. Ritz playing the logic, but at the same time, what about Death Mountain? There's 7 items there that are all clumped up together.
LiteYear completely destroying Mothula and grabbing a bowl of
was
nachos for the trouble.
Only takes 4 attacks with the tempered, or in this case, the golden sword that he has. Or they have, sorry. I'm not sure, I didn't ask ahead of time. I know Rick is he. That's all. But we do have Meyer. Meyer usually does have items in this logic. It is true.
When you are searching for what you're looking for, though, you are tempted to go upstairs just to check if you don't find that 2 items downstairs, and that's about a 45 seconds to a minute time loss right on its own.
Yeah, tracker real quick. Gold sword for the LiteYear.
LiteYear is also in go mode.
I looked at your. I started to say LiteYear's name, looked down and saw your name, and got very confused for a second. Why are some of the crystals red? Some of the crystals are red because those are for the pyramid fairy or double-chested fairy. It requires it requires the crystals 5 and 6, so we color them red.
And that usually has a couple items that, and this logic doesn't always pay off very much.
Yeah, it's 2 required items. Where did you find the randomizer? Right there. You can find it at vt. Oh, it's not actually on there. It's vt.alttp.run.
Yep, that run.
Oh, that was .com.
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
Nope, something special just to prove that we're unique and completely different from everybody else. Adiron taking the old school strats of actually going in.
Yeah, so Keku wasn't able to.
Going to hookshot the big chest and not find anything useful. Just the nachos. Probably getting a little bit frustrated at this point.
Yeah, Rick is probably feeling a lot of frustration. I would feel really bad if I was in his position right now, like just searching for that one item. Could be literally anywhere.
And an hour and a half in for some of the higher tier runners not being in go mode can cause a little bit of a tilt.
Mm-hmm. Well, he might also think it's pedestal. Oh no, it can't be. Tis of Turtle Rock. Never mind. Huh. Hey,
A
found the other
blindfold
items. So
pedestal would be legendary.
I love mirror. It's such a cool item idea. I don't think
Like
that
taking the penguin room and just completely destroying it.
did mirror like even have a similar appearance in other games. Like I feel like it never did. Oh, he might be making the play now. Okay.
Adiron takes the accidental extra step down and has to repeat the cycle, but looks to be heading towards East Death Mountain and potentially Super Bunny Cave.
Mm-hmm. LiteYear won't wait. Yeah, why is LiteYear chicken? Oh, looking for the bid key. What?
If you don't know the bomb jump, big
Oh,
key is kind of required.
right. I forgot about that. I know I do the bomb jump, so I can never remember. Oh, half magister to have though. It's actually almost good that he has to full clear.
Half magic is never a bad thing in this logic.
Danced around a little. I think it's in the mean chest, as it's called sometimes. But yeah, all Rick has to do is beat Skull Woods.
Rick having one of the last pieces to actually get this thing going. Here we go.
Yeah, and LiteYear is got the key.
We have a race on our hands, everybody.
Yeah, I think they're actually almost even. Like they're basically at the same point. They're gonna be like beating their bosses at almost the exact same time.
Rick heading up to Skullwoods, LiteYear going into Cold Stare. We're gonna have a race back up to Death Mountain very, very soon.
This is gonna be huge. Because if it's on right side, oh man,
The gambles can be very real at this point.
LiteYear's very thorough play is paying off, but Rick's skipping a bunch is letting him catch up.
Here we go, Cold Stare.
I was gonna go do something else after Como, but I need to see if it's right side. Right? This is exciting. This is a huge. Oh man.
Not the most ideal positioning for Cold Stare after he breaks out of the shell, but still making short work of the fight.
Yeah, with Butter and Red Mail makes this boss a joke, and Butter like. Okay, so LiteYear's just very slightly ahead right now.
Butter makes everything better.
If Kane is ret, then Ret is ret. 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 If Kane is ret, Ret is ret. If Kane is ret, then Ret is ret. If Kane is ret, then Ret is ret. If Kane is ret, it's Ret is ret. If Kane is ret, then Ret is ret. That's actually really hard to do. I don't even know if I did it 10 times.
That seemed pretty close. Definitely a little appeal to our wonderful fans here. As Adiron's making pretty quick work of Mothula right here.
No one bans me.
Continuing on, LiteYear actually heading into towards Super Bunny Cave and heading straight past it, going straight up to Ganon's Tower. Here we go.
I'm not hating on Rick. Me and Rick are like buds. Wait, okay, now I've been accused of hating on Rick. Earlier I was accused of hating on LiteYear. I guess I'm doing my job as a commentator then? Being fair and even? What? So yeah, oh yeah, number game. I got distracted by a dare of trying to say something 10 times fast. So yeah, guess number between 1 and 22. The bid key can equally be placed anywhere in Ganon's tower between 1 and 22. So feel free. My guess is tile room, because that is the trolliest cane combination.
That would be pretty fascinating. I'm going to go ahead and stick with 13 as usual.
And Rick is paranoid as well, checking an extra spot just in case. Also probably going to buy some potions, which LiteYear has not done.
Stocking up on Kool-Aid, this is the best opportunity to do so, because everything else requires you to go around in a route that you wouldn't want to go to this late.
LiteYear is checking pure left side. Does not know the advantage he currently has.
Adiron has to be wondering where LiteYear is at this point.
Rick will do traditional route, probably, because he doesn't have cane, so he can't actually do the other route. Oh yeah, the Dark Magician route, you're right. Left to this room, and then right side, then finish. Yeah, so it's basically a route that Dark Magician made up, so that he doesn't ever have to kill those Stelphos, because he hates those Stelphos. That's literally it.
Pretty smart strategy. Those things can be very trolly.
It's just an annoying room. Now, you can actually get trolled and there be no key. And so then you have to do this room, you have to like finish it up anyway. But doesn't happen often.
Here we go.
Does this route save time? This route saves time if it is in any of the chests that it hits first. If it is in Rando Room or Ice Armos, this loses time. So it's an interesting route.
As Rick heads into GT.
I thought he was gonna bond. Okay, so if it's in this room over here, this is LiteYear's game. Like it would literally, he would have to make some very large mistakes to lose if it's in this room right here. This is the moment of truth.
6 bombs, arrows.
And it is on left side. Or it's in tile room.
man.
Nope, could still be in tile room.
That is very true. One of the worst places for anything to be.
Okay guys, Rick is not safe yet. You guys aren't, he's not safe yet. It could be in tile room, which would make this one of the best games in the tournament, I think, for pure just like suspense. This is probably the most suspenseful race I've seen in the entire tournament. Rick literally can't go right side.
Oh no, LiteYear taking a little bit of the spill there. Finds that you can't hook shot over from the left side.
But you can do that. That is common. That's strat. The whole reason you're still here. Okay, so is it gonna be Rick? See, this is why Dark Magician made up this strat. Because those Stelphos are annoying.
LiteYear getting stuck on the other side chooses to ignore the key down there for a very good reason, since it's no longer required with that many keys in your possession.
Okay, so we're coming up to Rando Room, which is one of the other large item caches. So if it's not in here, then there's 3 items behind Ice Armos plus the item just before Ice Armos.
Now, interesting of note, this is actually called the Rando Room in the community because of the simple fact in the vanilla game you don't even think this room exists.
Yeah, and what it does have in it is like so you know all those like bad, like those 3 bombs? 2 of them are here, and 2 of the 10 arrows are here. That's all this room is an item refill.
Random coming up with nothing but money on that one.
Okay. There's only 4 more chests. And they're basically tied. They're like so close.
Get hyped for these odds, folks. This is gonna be a really good one. LiteYear completely missing the skip, but that's okay. It's only a little bit of a time loss there.
He says hi to the pet zoo real quick. Oh, this is huge. Oh my goodness. Rick has to be sweating right now. He knows he doesn't have the rod. He has to be thinking, what if LiteYear has the rod? What if there's one place I didn't check? And there's one. Oh! 25% chance! We're at 25!
3 more chests to go before tile room. Get your hype going, folks, because we're definitely right there.
This is insane!
LiteYear making a very nice strat using the ice physics to actually align into the
Where is it?
That's finally.
Okay. Oh, it's right there! Oh, okay, Rick is saved. Rick is saved.
So lucky.
Oh, jeez. Now it is a pure execution race from this point, so it's still hype because of that.
Crowd rioting that it should have been tile room instead. And I don't blame them in the slightest.
I don't know. I think it's way hyper now. Like having all that suspense until the right at the end, and now we have a race. Like we were hoping for the troll, and we get a good race. So I don't know. We can't really get upset about that. I don't think.
No, definitely not.
Ow! The mimic shot him in the face.
Very good strats using the statues to pull in
Oh!
those positions.
Good point. Rick doesn't have Samaria for some of these rooms. Interesting.
Could be a tiny bit of a time sink since it's a fairly reliable strat.
I think if I were to say though, based on execution I've seen in the rest of the run, I think Rick has a bit more execution. Rick's also been doing this, I think, a lot longer. He also does Zelda 1 randomizer, so he's quite versed in these 2D adventure game randomizers. I don't really know what genre it is. 2D action adventure games. LiteYear is also completely opt-in for no safeties.
Might still have something in the bottles from earlier.
Only a blue potion. Never went back to fill them up, so just as the vanilla blue potion that they got, or vanilla, quote unquote. You know what I mean?
True, with the magic powder and the catching that though. Oh wait, they didn't pick up the net. Oh no. Still, the magic powder can definitely be a huge lightsaber. Lifesaver. They are high-fiving in each and every room they're in so far. We have ourselves a neck-and-neck race, folks.
This is so close.
Rick actually pulling ahead thanks to the ice physics and fireball trolls.
Oh, LiteYear stopping.
The light. I think so.
That does mess up any fast strats for this fight, because this does trigger them a little bit earlier. As you can see, 2 of them have already spawned. It messes up with their AI, with their spawn timing. So they start spawning when you enter the room, rather than in a little bit of a delayed portion.
LiteYear showing off the silver arrow strats, gets all but the last one in one shot. Chooses to finish off with a spin attack, only a couple seconds behind now.
Rick stopping for a few extra items. Rick has a little bit less health. Rick also can't do special strats in this room. So he's actually going to lose a lot of time in this room.
And LiteYear pulls back ahead. Here we go.
Oh man, the Samaria strats.
Samaria strats paying off big time.
I think this is like by far the closest race I've casted. This could come into a tie. I'm just gonna put that out there right now. This is very, like, they've got the same equipment. They're so close. Their Ganon execution is going to come into play. They get to do the best shots. Rick has to stand there and cast his potion.
Rick, fortunately, having shopped a little bit before going up here, it's actually a really solid strategy in case you're not comfortable with this tower. Falling off the bridge, oh no.
I wonder, because Rick was probably under a lot more stress than LiteYear was coming up this tower. Because of that, so he might be a little like flustered. Opting to do torch strats instead of fire rod strats. Maybe forgot he owns a fire rod because of how long it took.
Half magic, definitely making it to where you don't have to worry about as much as the coming rooms. You can just stop and refill once instead of at the laser room right there.
I mean, with half magic and silver arrows, you can actually just straight up ignore all that pots here if you want to. Oh, trying to get in there.
Not
There
employing the dash strats. There we go.
Might not be comfortable. They can backfire on you. If he's not very comfortable at stopping his dashes at the right time. Oh, misses the. He does validate his run.
It's better to be safe than sorry and do something that you're not comfortable with.
Yes, that too. So Rick got the validation arrow, and LiteYear got the validation chest. Rick throws a bomb, which actually caused him to lose a race in this tournament. So I don't know why he went for that. Oh, we did double validation. Feels good. He has one blue potion, LiteYear does. He has one because he never used it. Oh, does
It's
it
the
double? I think.
That was a double.
Oh, that blue ball came in and completely stopped his attack.
There's one though.
So that's three. This is not the best pattern to these blue balls. Oh, gets another double.
5.
This should just be one. Oh. Yeah.
That angle there.
Oh, and Rick got trolled at the same time.
There's
Yeah. Oh, Rick is. Oh, saves it. That was a nice save. Did you catch that?
This is beautiful.
Oh. He's like. You can tell by his movements that he's a little stressed right now. He's not like he's kind of making small errors. But like, can you blame him? This has been a stressful fight. This has been a stressful tower.
And they don't know how stressful it is as Adiron gets the last hit, and they are going into Ganon virtually seconds apart.
This is so close. Oh, burrito! I love burrito. I'll take a chicken. I'll take a chicken burrito, Ganon. You can one cycle both parts of this, especially with where he is right now. 4,
Take a barbecue
5,
pulled
6,
pork burrito.
7. Oh, no, you need one more hit. Oh, he's bottling. That's a good idea.
Plenty of safeties right there.
Yeah, I think he hit him. Yeah, with he could have actually just caped there if he wanted to. And yeah, one cycles both phases. Oh my goodness. They were 27 seconds. Oh, Rick dies. Oh, he's a fairy.
The safety bottle's paying off
and it
big
was a
time.
It was a fast Ganon too. Oh, he gets the torch glitch. Oh, it was almost perfect position for Ganon. Oh, he got his arrow canceled out by the damage. That's a double. So he's got one more hit.
Rick having
he
the
almost
bottle
got
out
him.
just in case.
And he predicted that perfectly, and that's LiteYear's victory.
Oh my goodness. Rick being told that the light arrows were way long back in the silvers, and doesn't get the torch glitch. But LiteYear has finished with a official SRL time of 1:49:05. Congratulations!
Oh man, that was hype.
So LiteYear has completely shut down any attempts of a potential tiebreaker, and we'll move on to the next round along with Adiron.
Oh, I hope he comes in here for an interview. He must be hyped being 3-0 in his group.
The dream is dead for a tiebreaker out of this group. Sorry, everybody. Adiron making pretty fast work of this, though. Misses the first arrow, but gets the final arrow, and will jump right into the door in just a moment here. Adiron finishing in second place with an official SRL time of 1:50.13. Such an amazing race.
That was disgustingly fun, and holy crap, that was a. Oh. Okay, so that was a good race. I hope that both these commentators come in. I'm not in the IRC, so if somebody can ask them to come in, that would be fantastic.
It looks like they may be interested in joining us, actually.
I hope so. Oh my gosh.
I'm completely speechless on that end. It's so amazing.
I'd like to remind everyone to we'll do the thins layer. Hello, Rick.
Hello.
Congratulations on the finish.
I have to ask,
Thank you.
how stressed were you for those first 20 chests, or this first 15 chests in GT? Hello,
Extremely
Rick.
stressed once we got to the very end.
Congratulations on the finish.
Congratulations on the finish and win LiteYear. How stressed were you for those first
20
thank you.
chests,
or this first 15 Do you want to know a difference you two had?
Not quite.
LiteYear, you had Samaria.
Where was it?
Spike Cave.
Okay, well, that settles that. I knew it couldn't been in Ganon's Tower by logic.
It could have been.
No, it couldn't have been. Cold Stare dropped a key.
Yep.
Oh, smart guys. I wouldn't have thought like that. But no, that was a really good race, guys. That was super hype. Like the whole race, you guys were tight, man.
I'm speechless. That's just that was wonderful.
Yeah, I know my Ganon's Tower could have been a little bit better, especially towards the end.
So something of interest. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I went right side because I knew I didn't about the cane because I didn't know if you would have gotten that, Rick.
Yeah,
did you go all the way right side?
No, unfortunately, I chickened out.
No, you did. No, you got all the locked chests for Kane.
Oh yeah, I got all the chests, but I mean, I didn't go. I went back left side to go to the randomizer room.
Wow.
Yeah, that's actually faster, I believe,
Okay.
or at least it's more efficient to do that. You did what's called the Dark Magician route, which is to do the Stalfos room but not kill them, and then do right side and then go back to Rando room.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a strat.
So something of interest is that you both picked up gloves, but they were in the opposite sides of each of them. What were your thoughts going through that?
What did we pick up?
The gloves.
Oh yeah, you both picked up Power Glove within a minute of each other, and then both picked up Titans within a minute of each other, but on opposite sides of Dark World.
Yeah, another kind of seed where you should have gone to Pod right after you got done with Aghanim.
Yeah, but I don't think either answer was wrong in this case. It just lets you check different items, and I think actually, Rick, your playstyle of just doing bosses and dungeons and just going from dungeon to dungeon to dungeon, your strategy was fine and it worked out because you went to West Dark World to clear that, and this worked more for LiteYears, who was playing extremely efficiently, would get every item that they could. So it benefited both of your routes benefited your playstyle, and the seed didn't really hurt either of you.
What dungeons were you able to do go mode in LiteYear?
Yeah, I found the fire rod, and so yeah, pretty much I had already dipped into Skull, so pretty much just ice.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I ended up full clearing it.
Yeah, LiteYear didn't do the bomb jump, so basically had to full clear it to get the key and the bid key, because he had Samaria.
Yeah.
Because he got the fire rod, finished, then went to tablet, and then went to Spite Cave. So a little unfortunate in the end, but that was so close. You guys don't understand how hyped that race was. The entire chat, like we had a bunch of people say like that was late and they were gonna leave after go mode, but then the Kane of Samaria thing happened and everyone was like, "This is the best race." Like, yeah, that was honestly that's the best race I've ever casted. I think that was the hypest race in the entire tournament, to be honest. Like the fact that you guys kept weaving in and out, like you guys were always very close to each other, but doing completely different things. But you were always within like a minute of each other the whole race, I think.
Which is strange considering how different the routes, I guess, got.
Yeah, I mean, even in the early game, Rick, you went straight to Hera, I think, and LiteYear actually did the first half of Desert, including Adina. So you guys just did very different paths. I'm guessing LiteYear to ask. You don't know Dark Realms, I'm guessing, very well, correct?
That's right.
You avoided Eastern, like doing Eastern. You went to Sashrilla and then like pieced out.
Finding the hook shot there was the real.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah. I thought that opens up. I had Mir. That opens up Hera and Eastside Death Mountain.
Yeah, there was, and as it turned out, there's nothing in Eastern. No, that race was great. I would. It was hype, and Rick was actually ahead in parts of GT, and probably like you're both ahead in different parts of the run. And obviously, we didn't know who was ahead in GT until you picked up the bid key, and LiteYear was only like somebody said it's like 5 seconds ahead, but then not having Samaria. I think you guys killed Adinam 25 seconds apart.
Yeah, definitely having no Samaria cost me in those Wizrobe rooms.
That's you caught up in the first half of the gauntlet, like when you were like 20-ish seconds ahead going like leaving Lamola, and then you lost about 40 seconds in those rooms. It was sick.
I really don't know the strats for killing them without them Samaria.
I don't
know if there's really a good one.
No, I don't think so, because yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say that you did perfectly fine with what you had. No, it was a good race, guys. You definitely rewatch it if you're into that.
Well, congrats, LiteYear.
And good race, Rick.
And then that puts LiteYear as 3-0 in his group. So congratulations, LiteYear. Like 90% sure that guarantees you into the next round.
Yeah, that settles the group as me and LiteYear going to the brackets.
Oh, so LiteYear went in and just settled it to you guys? Oh, cool. I didn't know your group status.
Yeah, I've got 1 loss and everyone else has 2 or more losses, so that settles who goes into the brackets now.
So yeah, again, congratulations. Thank you, both of you. Guys, don't forget to follow the runners. Rick does a ton of randomizer. LiteYear, what do you do? Because I don't know.
I'm right now more of just a casual player.
Nice.
Yep.
Well, there you go, folks. Even if you play casually, you can get into the second round of the secondary. So, no reason for any of you not to play in SRL races. But yeah, thanks again, both of you.
So I do have one more question before we wrap up.
Yeah.
Light, did you know that you were in go mode when you found the fire rod, or was your brain thinking that you needed Samaria too?
I was gonna check the rest of those chests just because I didn't want to leave Kane, but no, I know I don't Ice Palace bomb jump, so I did want the Kane
to save time. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's I think it's absolutely required if Cold Stare has a key.
Yeah, it's a guarantee. If he drops a key, the logic requires Samaria for that.
Oh, I didn't know that the randomizer would require glitchless Samaria. Oh, okay, good to know. I know that that's like a vanilla thing to do, but okay.
But had I not found Kane, I would have just gone straight to Skullwoods. I think there was still an item in Skullwoods in the bottom chest.
Yeah, it was just money, which was unfortunate because I did look. I was like, I'm going to check the chests that are on my path. I'm not going to let this Samaria thing wreck me if it's right side, and then also,
Right.
oh no, Armos, come on, please don't do this to me. Don't do this to me.
The whole chat was like, they all wanted the troll because lol, but then it was like such a good payoff because you guys were so close, like at Armos, that it was like, okay, well we just traded the, oh no, troll moment to, oh my goodness, hypest race. So I don't think anybody was upset with this run.
I'm
But yeah.
speechless. You both did incredible.
Yeah, you both, that was amazing, guys. Like seriously, I mean it. It's the best race I've casted in this tournament by far. Definitely the closest. So
Well, we'll just get our revenge against each other in brackets.
exactly.
Definitely.
So again, don't forget to follow the two runners. They did fantastic. They'll be continuing on in this tournament. Don't forget to follow S Diesel, our restreamer. Jeremy Trammer has already left, but thank you to him, and don't forget to follow him as well. I believe he's in the tournament. I believe he's just started tracking. Definitely thank you to my co-commentator Lyra,
You're
and
very welcome.
don't forget to follow all 4 Speed Gaming channels and all 4 Randomizer Mania channels.
Plenty more action where this comes from, everybody.
Yeah, and we are headed into tiebreakers, so there are going to be some really hype matches coming up. So, thank you very much, everyone. It's a good time to cut it here, unless the runners or Lyra have anything else to say.
Nope.
No, I think that's it.
Okay,
See
thank you very
next
much,
session,
everyone.
everybody.